Yeah, it's amazing. I gave her my Plastic Beach vinyl, so I own Plastic Beach, but I don't have in my possession right now. Jen is holding on to Plastic Beach. She loves Plastic Beach as well. Everybody loves Plastic Beach. Seems like Plastic Beach is the go-to album for a lot of Gorillaz fans. Probably because there's a lot of good hits on that album. And I mean, I can't complain. I can't argue. I can't argue there. So anyway, without any further ado, let's get into it. Let's take it on over to Ava Conklin for tonight's show. Ava, take it away.
Thank you, Alec. Hi, everybody. I hope you all are well tonight and ready for some great tunes. So let's get into it. This is the second album, or otherwise known as the second phase. It was released on May 11th, 2005, and was recorded from March to November in 2004. It reached number 6 on the US Billboard 200 and has sold over 8 million copies worldwide. It is also double platinum in the US. According to Damon Albarn, the whole album tells the story of the night, staying up during the night. It's what we're living in, basically, the world in a state of night. All right, let's do this, my friends. Here's the intro track to kick things off. This is Off the Record. I'm Ava Conklin. This is the Wolf Den Network. Here's what's happening.
All right, my friends. Welcome back here on a Tuesday evening, or whatever day it is that you happen to be listening to this on. Whether it be a morning, evening, day, all that stuff. Because remember, your records go wherever you go with vinyl in your pocket. So, my observation time. First off, this very interesting album so far. Last Living Souls. It's got like I feel like this is a song you'd hear in a video game. I feel like it's got that poppy type video game-ish type sound to it. So that's kind of what I think. But you also got to think about the strings here. There's the strings that are woven into it. Almost has that White Flag feel, and White Flag from Plastic Beach. That's kind of what I think of when I hear those strings. As well as the acoustic. Now, the acoustic, I love the acoustic guitar and Damon's vocals. Those are mixed really well. And yeah, it's really cool. Again, this is a nice album that's just mixed with different types of genres. You have some pop in there, you got some rock, you got some rap in there as well. I mean, you get a little bit of everything. Just like I said with the Plastic Beach show, you get a little bit of anything and everything with this album. Now, is this a concept album? I wouldn't really call it a concept album. It's an album that covers, I think, many themes. You know, it talks a little bit, communities, politics, a little bit of war, especially with fire coming out of the monkey's head. And you'll know what that story, you'll know what the title means coming up in a bit. Ava's got all those facts. Plus, there's more to, let's just say that Damon Albarn's travels have led him to making this album. He took a train from China to Guatemala, I think it was, and noticed that the trees were dead and a lot of things were really interesting in his words. And so he wanted to know if he could make that into the Gorillaz world. Whatever that means. I'm not sure. It's just something that I had found and I'd seen in an interview recently. So it's really cool. And Feel Good Inc., which of course is on this album, talks a little bit about, obviously it talks a little bit about like a different culture different utopian society. Interesting stuff. And then you have El Mañana, which is kind of the continuation of Feel Good Inc. And poor Noodle. I feel like Noodle gets attacked quite a bit in these albums because you have Cyborg Noodle and Plastic Beach. I feel like something happens to her in Plastic Beach. I can't remember what. And then you have her utopian society getting destroyed in El Mañana with Demon Days. Poor Noodle. Why is everybody attacking poor Noodle? Why is poor Noodle getting all the brunt of everything? I don't understand. I don't think Noodle understands either. It's all right. Murdoch is just gonna do his thing. Tootie's is gonna be Tootie. Russell's is gonna be Russell. They're just gonna keep fighting and arguing with each other. It's all good. So, there we go. Coming up in a bit, Ava's going to join us. She'll have some facts for you coming up on the backstory behind Demon Days and a bunch more stuff coming up as well. Plus, we'll get you ready for Bands and Bands this Thursday, 4 to 6 p.m. Be a fun show to look forward to as well. It's our new competitor to Vinyl in Your Pocket. So, by the way, I do remind everybody, if there's an album that you want us to play, let us know. Feel free to send in a text, 802-582-1050. Feel free to comment on the podcast feed as well. There's a comment section that you can write in on every episode and all that stuff. Feel free to write in as well what you want to see. Coming up in a bit, I'll talk about this more in depth, but Vinyl in Your Pocket / Off the Record going to be going on the road, going to be doing a remote show. And Vinyl-thon going to become a thing. We'll tell you more detail coming up in a bit as well. And now, Vinyl-thon, you guys know, maybe you guys know this. It's an all-day event where radio stations all around the world play vinyls for 24 hours. Now, with this being a community event, it's most likely not going to be 24 hours. It will probably be 3 to 4 hours, maybe. And it'll just be a case where community members, they can go to a specific place and they can get more, they can play vinyls and talk about those vinyls. So basically picture it a 4-hour rendition of Off the Record / Vinyl in Your Pocket. More detail will be coming as we go, as more detail comes in and as things get worked out. But Vinyl in Your Pocket and Off the Record going to be looking to go on a remote setting as we look to put together a Vinyl-thon where we play different records and all this other stuff. And we talk records, of course, as well. So that'll be a lot of fun. And as far as making that work for a remote setting, I'm not sure how that's going to work with our remote system that we have, just because we don't have any RCA inputs / outputs for the remote console. But that doesn't mean we can't make things work. So we'll see. We'll see what happens and how that all plays out. All right, my friends, let's get back to some more tunes. Here's some more Gorillaz for you on your Tuesday evening. It's Off the Record / Vinyl in Your Pocket.
There's kids with guns here on Off the Record. So let's get into some more facts. The producer for this album is Danger Mouse, who also helped to produce some albums from Jay-Z. Damon reached out to Danger Mouse, wanting a different sound to the Gorillaz' second album. According to the producer, it was a mutual feeling of respect and admiration between him and Albarn. Okay, so there is that fact for now. Let's get into some more tunes. Here is Oh Green World. Thanks for listening to Off the Record.
All right. Oh Green World. Pretty good tune right there. Or if you're Mac Miller, Oh Blue World. Sorry, I had to. Oh, man. All right. That concludes side one, my friends, for this record. Again, there's 2 discs for this vinyl. And I'm going to flip the second. I'm going to flip this record. Now, this side, this is the second side where we get into a little bit more of the more well-known songs, I think. More of the well-known songs, depending on how big of a Gorillaz fan you are. I think, the second side of this album is more known than the first side, more popular than the first side, maybe. This is my thoughts. I mean, particularly Dirty Harry and Feel Good Inc., which segue right into each other, which is pretty cool. Actually, it's pretty cool how they segue into each other. Really, really cool. These are some interesting song titles: Dirty Harry, El Manana, Feel Good Inc. Well, once you hear the backstory for Feel Good Inc., I think maybe it'll make sense. It might not make sense, and it might. Like I said before, Feel Good Inc. is kind of talks about a city where people are more calm and are chilled out. I'm not going to ruin it for you, but El Manana more so is the destruction. I like to call it the destruction of Noodle and her floating island. Maybe she ends. Maybe that's what happens. Maybe because Noodle's floating island gets attacked, and she has nowhere to go, so she ends up going to Plastic Beach and joining Murdoch. I don't know. I'm not sure where Murdoch is at this during this Demon Days era. Maybe he's just chilling on this floating island with her, and then they decide, oh, we don't have a home anymore. We just got to go to a beach. Oh, wait, the beach has got a lot of plastic debris. That's okay. Let's get a lot of musicians and make an album. This is fun. This is so much fun. I'm having a blast right now with this. Speaking of Plastic Beach, earlier on today, the Plastic Beach show played on Automation, if you guys heard it. And I just have to say, it's the progress in the amount of work that we've been able to do with going from Plastic Beach to now is just amazing. With Plastic Beach, we only had one. We only had the description of the album, and that was it. Now we've got not only the description of the album, but we've also got facts and all this other cool stuff implemented. It's so cool to kind of take a look back at and kind of reflect on what we've been able to kind of do and keep things rocking and rolling, so to speak, which is really, really cool. So yeah, thank you guys for just a quick side note. Thank you guys for running with this and going with the flow things. So Bants and Bants is this Thursday. Coming up in the next hour, I'll talk about what we're going to be doing for that show. It'll be a lot of fun. Really, really excited. So stay tuned for that. Did you guys know we're getting snow already? Mount Washington has already observed a couple inches of snow as we speak. So like it or not, winter is almost upon us. Very, very exciting. Very exciting. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. So coming up next, Ava joins us with some more facts. In fact, she'll be talking about Feel Good Inc. So stay tuned for that, because right now here's some more Gorillaz tunes. It's Gorillaz and Dirty Harry. I don't even want to imagine that. Dirty Harry right here on a Tuesday evening. It's Off the Record / Vinyl in your pocket.
Feel Good Inc. here on Off the Record or Vinyl in your pocket. Depending on when you are listening, This song tells the story of a city that's numb and placated by mass mechanized culture. People in this city are kept calm and inactive by a drug called soma. But there is hope with the words of the chorus. Some generic facts for this song are that it was listed number 10 in 13 countries and hit the number 12 spot on the Billboard 100 chart.
All right. Interesting there. Interesting. El Mañana. Right here on Tuesday evening. It's Off the Record / Vinyl in your pocket. Hey, look at that. That's the end of the first record, my friends. That's the first half of the show. Look at that. So, I have to say, this is definitely one of those albums you can definitely chill out and listen to and relax. I think, at least. That's my thoughts on this album. Yeah. I also have to say too, I love the sleeve. I love the sleeve on this record. It is beautiful. It is a beautiful record. I'm surprised Plastic Beach didn't come like this. It would be very funny if it did. How very fitting would it be, though, if it did? Plastic Beach comes in a plastic case. Anyway, I love the strings that are incorporated. There's a lot more strings in this album, it seems like, than there is with Plastic Beach. Because the only three, really like the 3 or 4 songs off of Plastic Beach that have strings that I notice are On Melancholy Hill, Plastic Beach, Cloud of Unknowing, White Flag. Yeah. But this one has strings like in every song, which is really, really cool. But let's not forget Dirty Harry and how there's a choir in there, which is pretty cool. And there's there's the random talking in the background as well, which is pretty cool. And like I said before, Dirty Harry fades beautifully into Feel Good Inc., which is pretty cool. And I told you I was going to give my review on Feel Good Inc. On Feel Good Inc. for what I think of it being on vinyl. And it's a different experience. It's a completely different listening experience. But yeah, it's really cool. Like I said, with vinyl, you can hear a lot more than you can if you listen to a digital master. So that's my thoughts. All right. So that is going to conclude the first hour of the show. And with that being said, Ava, what do we got coming up for the rest of the show?
Coming up after the break, still to come, we get into some more facts, more detail on the Bants and Bands podcast, and so much more. Thanks for listening. You're tuned into Off the Record. I'm Ava Conklin alongside Alec Wolf. You're listening to Off the Record, hosted by Alec Wolf on the Wolf Den Network. We'll be back after this. Are you a recording artist and need your music mixed or mastered? Starting a podcast and don't know where to begin? Or do you just need some radio production such as voiceover work or podcast help? The Wolf Den Network is now offering music and radio production services. Send in your script or multi-track session with exact instructions and notes for what you want the end result to be. Radio packages start at $20 for 4 produced jingles, commercials, sweepers, and promos. You also get dry cuts with your produced files to use in any of your future projects, which is sent to your email in a zip file. A full radio package with 2 music beds, 4 jingles, 4 commercials, 4 sweepers, show intro/outro, and a voiced weather bed can also be purchased as well for just $100. And finally, for recording artists, you can get your tracks mixed and mastered just for only $50. Or if you just need mixing or mastering services, you can can purchase either for just $25. For more info and to order, call or text Alec Wolf at 802-582-1050. Off the Record, a show where we play vinyl records from the old days of radio to the current. Tune in every Tuesday from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. to get your vinyl fix and explore the world of music like never before. Plus, hear facts and other important information about each record that is spun. It's Off the Record, Tuesdays from 8 to 10 p.m., broadcasting on the Wolfden Network. Bants and Bands with Alec Wolf and Emily Beckett podcast. Listen on any podcast platforms such as Pocket Cast, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Spotify, and so much more. Plus, you can now listen to Bants and Bands on your smart speaker or any other Amazon Alexa device. For more information and to stay updated with the broadcast, go to facebook.com/bandsandbands or Instagram/bandsandbands. And remember to tune in live on the Wolf Den Network. Okay, drop that needle. We are back with more Off the Record with Alec Wolf on the Wolfden Network.
All right, welcome back, everybody, on a Tuesday evening. Hopefully, you guys are ready to go for the second hour here. Ooh. I don't know if it's my mic or if it's... I am hearing something. It might be my microphone. It's my microphone. There's a very faint humming in the background that I haven't heard in forever. Oh, it's gone now. It's gone now. Okay, that was interesting. Huh. I wonder what that was all about. That was very interesting. Anyway, welcome back, everybody, on a Tuesday evening as we get a little distractions here going in the second hour of the show. Coming up, we'll get some more detail for Bants and Bands on Thursday. Plus, if you like the music from Matt House, you might like this announcement coming up in a bit. You know the Funko Pop figures? You know how you guys can get like the Funko Pop action figures? Actually, you know what? Let me grab something here. I want to show you guys real quick. Let's take a quick detour from Gorillaz for a second. I want to now actually while I'm pulling this out here, Gorillaz does have Funko Pop figures you can get of the characters, which are characters of Noodle and Russell and all the other characters. But in my hand right now, I have a limited edition, and I say limited edition because these you can't get them anywhere else, and they're very rare because these came out in the beginning of their album. But real quick here, I just want to talk about this. All Time Low came out with back when they came out with So Wrong It's Right, they came out with Funko Pop figures, which I have a pair. I have a set. And these are actually kind of cool. These are pretty cool. They have two versions of these. They have ones that are signed and a version that's just a regular version. But they have these are more of a collector's item, actually, now, more than anything. But you have all four guys. You have Zach, Ryan, Jack, and Alex. And so let's pop one of these out, actually. These things are pretty cool because they they're so cute. They have the little arms and the hands. You can move the hands into arms, and then they don't even have legs. They're just like the upper body, like the torso and the head. But the thing is, compared to the head and the body's very tiny compared to the head. The head's like big and fat. But I have those for display, which is pretty cool. And I'm hoping to get a Gorillaz set. They have a Gorillaz version. Now, unfortunately, with the Gorillaz, they don't sell a 4-pack. These are stuff that you get. The Gorillaz ones come in what's called a mystery box, and you basically order a box and you don't know who you get until you get the actual box. So you either get Noodle, you either get Russell, 2D, but you also get different versions of them. Sometimes you get two versions of the same character. Sometimes you get different characters, but I'm looking to get my hands on those to add to my collection, to add to my figurine collection. So right now I got an all-time low figurine collection, which is pretty sweet. And I'm hopefully soon gonna get a Gorillas figurine set. But those things like this, guys, are a rarity. So when you see these on eBay or see them online, pick them up. Pick them up. They're also can be called like vinyl figures. So there's some you'd see with, you could probably pick them up with a vinyl or whatever. So these are basically what these are. But anyway, what I'm getting at here is we are going to be coming out with Funko Pop. Ready for this, guys? Funko Pop Madhouse action figures. Now, I wouldn't really call them action figures, but they can be if you want them to be. They're going to have a ukulele and a microphone, I believe, or actually it just might be a microphone or just might be a ukulele. But they're Madhouse Funko Pop figures. They're $30. They're going to be coming out in November to mid-December. So if you guys want a Madhouse Funko Pop figure, and I can't believe I'm saying that right now, but if you want a Madhouse Funko Pop figure, feel free to reach out to either of us, Matt_House13 on Instagram or Twitter. Feel free to reach out to him via there as well, or feel free to reach out to me at AlecWolf2023 on Instagram or at Radio Alec. Feel free to reach out there as well. All right. There's some tape here on this box I'm trying to take off. All right. So with all that being said, let's get into some more tunes. First of all, let me see if I can make a shot here from here to the, oh, almost. This is why I never played basketball. It's why I always commentated basketball. I tried landing the box over across the room onto the bed, and it didn't stick the landing. But anyway, let's get into some more tunes. Coming up next, Ava's got some more facts for you and much more right here on Off the Record / Vinyl in Your Pocket. Let's do this.
There Is November has come. So let's backtrack a little. The album's intro features a sample from Dark Earth from the soundtrack to the 1978 film Dawn of the Dead. Also, the original title for this album was supposed to be We Are Happy Landfill. This title was scrapped and used for a track later featured on D-Sides released in 2007. Here is some more tunes. It's Gorillaz with Ollie. This is Off the Record.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Just going to do a little backspin there. So there we go. Before that, of course, we had Every Planet We Reach Is Dead. And then, of course, we had November Has Come. And then just now we had All Alone. Very interesting songs. Very cool songs. You know, the thing with Every Planet We Reach Is Dead, that one is interesting because it's got like a blues. It's almost got like a blues sound to it. It's almost got like a bluesy sound to it, which is pretty cool. And November Has Come. It's got like a 90s sound to it. So I feel like listening to that song just now, I felt like I was kind of going back to the 90s, or like just like this. That is a song you would hear at a nightclub. I feel like if you were to go to a nightclub in New York City, I feel like this is one of those songs you would hear. I would not be surprised if this was played at a nightclub. I would not be surprised. A lot of people probably would be like, what the heck is this stuff playing? I don't understand. But that's I feel like that's a lot. I feel like that's with a lot of club music. Sometimes. Depending on if the person likes it or not. I could be wrong. But so that's just my thoughts. Oh man. Wow. This is fun. So Bands and Bands happening Thursday. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be playing some covers of different songs that artists have done. So you can hear from Mayday Parade all-time low in there, games we play, potentially some Simple Plan, and a couple of other stuff as well, which is going to be pretty fun. And again, that goes down on Thursday at 4 p.m. And of course, it can be found on all podcast platforms, which is going to be pretty cool. So you check that out on Thursday for the live broadcast. And if you can't catch the live broadcast, then it will be up on all podcast platforms either that night or the next day. So feel free to check that out as well. Feel free to check out our latest episode as well on not only just this podcast feed, but check out our latest episode on the Bands and Bands. Catch up on that as well, which is where we reflected on 3 years, which is pretty crazy. Of course, our last episode, you will know, for Vinyl in Your Pocket was Monsters in the Closet, which was a really fun show. But of course, this would be our last episode. This would be our most recent episode if you're listening to the podcast, which obviously you have found it if you're listening to it. So, hi. Oh, man. All right. I think this is where we're starting to get into some more of the dark type tunes. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I would really consider. I mean, Dare is upbeat and dancey. I don't know. I don't know if I really understand the concept of Dare. I'm not sure if there's really a story, if it's meant to tell a story or what. But I will say it's got a very interesting backstory. And Ava's got that for you coming up in a bit right here on Off the Record / Vinyl in Your Pocket. But let's get back to some more tunes. Here is Gorillaz and White Lights right here on the Wolf Den Network. All right. A very interesting tune right there. There's a lot of synthesizers and a lot of granted, the lyrics are pretty simple. All it is white light. Oh, that must have been a fun one to record, right? Wonder what that's a very interesting song. That's for sure. All right. So we're going to get into the final side here for tonight's record. And this is going to be a pretty fun one. We're going to kick off side 4, side D. We're going to kick off the D side, not the remix album. But speaking of D sides, B-sides is going to be brought up here in a couple of minutes. So I'm not going to ruin anything, but I've got something pretty cool to talk about, which will, I'm not going to bring it up now because it's not going to make any sense until Ava's done her little blurb about Dare, which we're about to play Dare coming up right about now. So, my friends, get ready to jam with me. And, jam with me hardcore. By the way, I don't know if you guys have ever taken notice, and I don't know if I even made mention to this, but I just want to make note to this. One of my friends had found a picture of Ava, and I had gotten that picture. I got the picture developed, and I now have it in a frame, and it is sitting here up on the rack where we use our CD player broke. So we got rid of the CD player, and actually in place of the CD player, Ava's picture is up on the in frame, but it's also sitting here in the rack. So Ava, I'm looking right at you, my friend. We are about to play Dare on vinyl. And if you guys remember our show from August.
Yeah, DJ, drop that needle. 3, 2, 1.
It's a show that takes you on a musical journey
From the old days of radio to the current, it's Off the Record.
live on the Wolf Den Network. Get ready to get your vinyl fix and explore the world of music like never before.
For more information, to make a request, or to get in on the conversation, go to facebook.com/The Wolf Den Network.
And now, dropping the needle and spinning the turntables.
Here's your host,
Alec Wolf.
All right, exclusively on YouTube here on a Wednesday afternoon. Welcome, everybody. So this is going to be really fun. This is going to be really exciting. Any of you guys tuning in, feel free to comment. We got the live chat going up here as well. Take a look at that periodically throughout the stream. If you have questions, do not hesitate. Put them up. I'll answer them as best as I can here on the live stream. So we're gonna get things rocking and rolling here. I'm gonna do my best to go through everything as simply and as easily as I can. Let me just fire up the MacBook here. So as I mentioned, I'm gonna take you through everything from scratch. Okay. So and let me pull up the video here on my mobile device, handy dandy mobile device, that way I can monitor things here. See if we got anybody watching. Let's see here. All right. And there we go. All right. Cool. Oh, we gotta get some feedback. All right. So, let me take you through. You know what? I'm gonna switch microphones here. It's a good studio mic, but we can do better. We can do better. All right, there we go. All right, now I can move around the studio and be more mobile. Right? Okay. So to make everything make sense, we kind of have to start from square one. Square one being that we start things off with an audio sample. Okay, so the fax and everything is done via PlayHT. All right, so let me open up a. Let me go to the other computer here, and let me pull up PlayHT on there. And beautifully enough, this reaches, which is nice. All right. So if you do want to play along, if you want to, because PlayHT doesn't just have the ability to clone, but it has the ability to, it's got over 200 voices that you can play with. Okay. They're pre-made voices that you can use, and those are designed from the company, and you get those. But if you want to play along with those after the video, if you want to check out any of those stuff, I will post a link to PlayHT. All right. So let's go here into my browser. It's already there. Okay. So when you go to create your clone, you're going to see a pop-up here that'll say create clone. Now you have two options. You can do instant clone or high fidelity clone. Instant clone only takes 30 seconds of audio, and high fidelity takes 30 minutes of audio. So there's a big difference there. High fidelity clone is made so that it'll take your voice and it will copy the exact tone, the accent, and everything, so that it is basically you don't even know that it's the person. Like, you don't know it's AI generated. So what you do, and the key here, as I mentioned yesterday during Vinyl in Your Pocket, the key here is to your audio needs to be the best that you can possibly make it. So no room noise, nothing in the background, just you or the other person talking. All right. You can, so you go into your home page here, your dashboard, and you have your list of clones here. Okay, so we're going to check this. It's going to say Ava Conklin. It'll say, now if you're cloning, if it's still in progress, it will say cloning in progress. And all that's doing is just, it's taking the audio that you uploaded, and it will basically create the model based off of that audio. Okay, so then you hit use. All right. Now what Play HD is going to do is going to pull up a text box, and this allows you to edit and add, and this allows you to type anything into the text box that you want. But before I get into putting all that together, let me just log in here on the MacBook. Oops, hang on. MacBook decided to shut off on me. While that's low, actually, I think it's ready to go. Let me check this out here on my end of things. Beautiful. All right. Let's quickly log in here. Oops. Really? Fingers are getting ahead of me here. All right. That's ready to go. All right. So before I get into anything, I'm going to play you the example or the sample audio that I uploaded to Play HD. All right. So don't mind the voiceover in the background if you can hear it. If you can, I'm sorry. If not, then cool. That's all right too. All right. So I'm going to play the audio here that I uploaded to Play HD. Now, as I mentioned, this is the original audio taken from our studio session. So let's see here. Play. I'm trying to pull it up here. It's just taking its sweet time. The computer is taking its sweet time. A lot of clips here. Okay. So all right, I think this is it here. Let's see.
This is Modern Hype with your bro, DJ.
Okay, so this is all generated stuff already. You can tell, hopefully you can tell that this is actual voice here. Okay. All right. So I have two recordings here. I have one that is taken from this headset. This headset that I'm actually wearing right now, which is the BPHS One headset. This is the headset that we used, that I had Ava use to record her voiceovers. So this is the original vocal track that was used to create the new model. So check this out.
From Mayday Parade to We the Kings, we play it all. This is Wolf Den Network. This is the Wolf Den Network. From Paramore, Billie Eilish to All Time Low, we play it all. You're tuned in to the Wolf Den Network.
Okay.
We play all the artists that make up the alternative.
Already, when I record voiceovers, I like to leave a little room noise, leave a little hiss, a little bit of a, disengage the noise gate, okay? So all this is the processor engaged, but there's no noise gate engaged. Because during post-production, when things are produced, I do all the post-production after, put the noise gate and everything in after. All right. So there's the original vocal track. All right. So just
genre.
Play it a little more
This
here.
Is the Wolf Den Network. Broadcasting live 24/7, anytime, anywhere on your mobile devices. This is the Wolf Den Network. Take us on the go anywhere. You've tuned in to the Wolf Den Network, your number one alternative music station. This is the Wolf Den Network.
Okay, so you see how her delivery is spot on. This is the unedited track. Okay. So as I mentioned last night during last night's edition of Off the Record, it's all about your delivery and how you speak. Okay. Let me just check this out and see if we got anybody. Got anybody watching? Don't see anybody. It's so weird hearing myself on the replay on the replay. But anyway, so back to Play HT here. So again, I have my edit window open. So you heard the audio clip that it played here a few minutes ago, which is the original. What you do there is now this original clip is, I think, 7 minutes long. So in order for it to be a 30-minute clip, I had to copy and paste X amount of times to make it one huge file, to make it 30 to 40 minutes for this to work. Then I go into Play HD, I hit upload, and it took about an hour and a half for this whole thing to be created. Okay, so let me generate some speech here from our AI model for Ava, just so you can hear how accurate this is. So I'm going to have her go, let's see. Oops, hold on. Now it's best if you put everything in quotes, especially with everything that I write here, I put in quotes. It'll make it more conversational and sound more authentic. So I'm going to have her go, let's see. Hello, viewers. Oops. Okay, hello, viewers. This is Ava Conklin. I'm using Play. Now, when you write letters, so if you have like HT or any of that stuff, it's best to space it out. So you want to capitalize the letter. That way the model knows what to pick up on. So I'm going to HT. Okay. And I'm going to put how. Now, if any of you guys want to answer this question that I'm about to put, feel free to answer it. How is everyone today? Question, and here's a quote, end quote. Okay. Now, I want you guys to understand something as well. Sometimes this model gets it right. Sometimes this model gets it wrong. How do we fix that? There's a regenerate button that you can hit to regenerate the speech. If you don't like something that you hear, you can regenerate. But that will come here in a moment if we don't like what we'll hear in a couple of seconds. But what you do here, go back up to the top, and you hit the generate all. Now, this usually takes up to about 30 seconds or less to generate the audio. Okay. And then you go down to the bottom, past the edit box. Now there's one audio file here. So you're going to select that generated audio. And now you have a button here that's the export button. Click on that. Now you have two options here. You can select to export each individual paragraph. So if you have something that's a paragraph, you can export each audio track as an individual paragraph. Or you go down here and you select as a single audio file. You hit enter on this, and it is going to download your audio automatically. That takes about literally 5 to 10 seconds. All right, so now I go to my downloads. And your audio, when you go to your downloads, your audio file is going to say play HT, and then it's going to have a little bit of your text that you generated, that you wrote. Okay, so it is going, now this is what we came up with. All right, this is what the AI Ava Conklin has said. Check this out.
Hello, viewers. This is Ava Conklin. I'm using Play HT. How is everyone today?
Okay, so that's how that's done. Now, notice a lot of similarities between that audio track versus the original? Maybe, maybe not. Part of that is the audio quality is a little different. The sample rate is a little different when it comes to the audio. When it comes to the Play HT. However, because of the studio headset that was being used in the actual recording, it is still picking up on the room ambience and all that other stuff. I think I forget what the sample rate is for these, but there's a little bit of a lower quality versus the original audio track, which is okay. But that's how the audio is generated for off the record / vinyl in your pocket. Okay. So what I do here when I get the audio, when I go to sit down to put a show together, I will go into the generator and say we're playing, let's just say we're going to play Mac Miller. Okay. So just going to get back into Play HT here. And Just going to delete everything here. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to write basically a greeting is basically what it is. I'm going to start off with a greeting. So I'm going to put, hi, everyone. Welcome to Off the Record. I'm your host with hold on. I'm going to change this one. I'm Ava Conklin. When I first created the model, I had to train it so that it would say her name properly. The first couple of times it announced it as Ava Conklin. So I had to, for like one or two generations for audio, I had to write AYVA for it to actually get it right, for it to be trained. So sometimes if there's a name that you write in, if you have a name that you're writing in and it's having trouble generating it, write it the way it sounds, because chances are that will train the model, that'll train it to speak properly in a sense. So obviously I don't have to do that anymore, which is great. Back with some more records to play and talk about. Okay, now I'm going to go tonight. We are going to play my favorite artist. Oops, hold on. Mac Miller. I absolutely love his album Circles. Now hold on. Okay. So just like before, I'm going to hit generate. Now, what happens then is I usually go online, or I always go online, and I look at different facts on each track on each album. Okay, so I always start the show off, as you guys know, with the intro to the album and a description for the album. That description can come from iTunes. It can come from sometimes the band's website. And what I will do then, or what I will do is not copy word for word, right? That's plagiarizing. I don't want to do that. But what I will do is I'll write the text out almost word for word, but put a little spin on it. And so there you get the intro, and then so that Ava introduces the song, Let me just go down here. All right, so let's just say we don't want to get into, let's just say we don't want to get into any descriptions right now. We just want to get right into the show, right? So what I can do in that case, I can have her say, okay, let's get into the first track on the record. It's Mac Miller with the title track Circles. This is off the record. Okay, and then I'm gonna, like you would do in an actual live show setting, then you're gonna put, again, I'm Ava Conklin. All right, so there's that. All right, so now, all right, just like that, I'm gonna hit generate. Now, keep in mind, as I mentioned before, not all the time it's going to get everything. It's not going to say everything accurately. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. It's kind of a hit and miss. So that's where you have to hit regenerate every now and then. All right, so now I'm going to hit select, hit 1. Now, another thing to keep in mind here, the latest generated audio is going to be the audio that's always up at the top. Your previous generated audio is still going to live there, and you can still download it. Say if you lost an old audio file that some parts of it were good, some parts of it were not, and you wanted to keep it, you can re-download that file just by selecting the little checklists here. So now I'm going to hit export. Export as a single audio file. And it's going to download. All right, just like that, we've got our audio file.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Off the Record. I'm Ava Conklin back with some more records to play and talk about. Tonight, we are going to play my favorite artist, Mac Miller. I absolutely love his album Circles. Okay, let's get into the first track on the record. It's Mac Miller with the title track, Circles. This is Off the Record. I'm Ava Conklin.
Okay, so right there is a really good example of sometimes it'll say her name properly, sometimes it won't. And in that case, that's where, now I've already created, let me just go back here and show you guys what I've done. So in case the generator decides to go haywire.
Your number.
So right there, you guys hear the similarities between that audio versus this audio? There's a lot of similarities. Anyway, I'm going to go into here for a second. So I'm going to go into my artist IDs folder here. Now, what I have created, because again, sometimes this can be a little wonky when it comes to name pronunciation. So what I have done is I have taken the audio that was generated properly, where it did say her name properly, and I have created artist IDs. Some of them are going to sound the same. Some of them are going to sound different, right? All right. So I have a lot of them here. Let's see how many. I got a lot of them here. Now, some of these are produced. Oh, actually, all of these are produced. Now, in a couple of minutes here, I'll show you how things are produced. But anyway, here's some of the artist IDs that we've got just from using Play HT and pulling the correct audio.
Oh yeah, this is Ava Conklin in the mix.
Okay, so that's there's some interesting ones here.
Hey, I'm Ava Conklin.
So that's taken. That's a original vocal versus a generated vocal.
This is Ava Conklin, and you know what's up.
Okay, so there's some of these have effects on them. Big chorus effect, which is pretty cool, and some megaphone effect.
What is up? This is Ava Conklin.
Now, keep in mind, all this is AI generated. Okay, this is all generated using Play HT.
Hey, this is Ava Conklin.
Okay, now some of these I have are greetings.
I'm Ava Conklin.
Okay, so for example, if there's an audio track that we generate and everything's good, and then all of a sudden the generator just gives out and pronounces her name wrong, I can take any of these audio tracks and I can plop it in. And if I need to, I can edit out the greeting, or if I want to make a station ID with her, I can plop it in.
This is Ava Conklin, and
So-
you know what's up.
There's a couple of them here.
What is up? This is Ava Conklin.
Okay. So I have ones where she says, "This is Ava Conklin." I have a couple where it says, "I'm Ava Conklin." Let's see if I have any.
This is Ava Conklin.
A lot of these are, this is, some of them are I'm, but there's a total of, let's see, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. There's 22 different renditions that are saved here in the in my audio files that are all AI generated. Again, all AI generated.
This is Ava Conklin.
Okay.
Hey everybody, this is Ava Conklin.
So there's some pretty cool stuff there as far as that's concerned. Now, this by far, this part of the process has to be the best, the fun part. So facts are generated. All right, let's just say all the facts are generated, all the tracks are ready to go. Then what's next? How do we get that high quality audio, that studio audio quality, right? How do we go from this, right?
Hi everyone. Welcome to Off the Record.
How do we go from that to superb audio? Well, gonna open up Logic Pro. And actually, let me grab my USB thumb drive. What did I? Oh, I know what I did with it. All right. So, what I'm going to show you now are the final stages of the production. So, let's pretend all our facts are generated, all the audio files are generated with each track/fact. Okay, and again, the facts are I do some research, and then I take that research and I put it into the generator like I showed you earlier, right? So now we got a USB stick in here. I'm going to click on USB, and Ava Conklin Panic Clips. Okay, so this is last night's show. All right. Now what I'm going to do, go to my menu. Okay, we're not going to do it that way. Apparently the computer doesn't like to open. Normally I can open it right from the audio file. However, that is not going to be the case right now. So we're just going to exit out of there. Go into Logic Pro. Now I already have a template. Oops. Okay. All right, so right here on my main screen, I got different templates here. Now, I have two templates here. One is Ava Conklin VoiceOver, and one is Ava Conklin Studio. I don't know the Ava Conklin VoiceOver template. This one was created because I was messing around with it. So it's not really one that's being used, but the one that is being used is the one up top here, which is the Ava Conklin Studio. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this. All right. So this was designed, I designed this template based off of the audio equipment in here, based off of Ava's original vocal session. So let me just quickly run through what I got going here. So we got, oops, hold on. There we go. There's stereo output, of course, and we got the audio 1. Audio 1, now there's nothing in this template right now. There's nothing in this template but presets. All right. Now, this is the quick and easy route to produce the audio. However, I could take you guys the long way and go through all the presets, which I'll take you through. You know what? I'll take you through the presets right now, what I got going on here, and then I'll put in an audio track here. So all right, so all of these, there's four EQs, a compressor, a noise gate, right? Because in the original audio, we didn't have a noise gate, so put a noise gate in. And you got a filter EQ just to take some of the lows out, some of the bass out, some of the plosives. But each one, if I click on any of these presets, or if I click on any of these plugins, they will all have Ava's name under them, because these are all designed based off of Ava's voice. And because they are based off of Ava's voice in her original recording, and because of the clone that we've been able to create, we're able to get superb audio like this. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go Command-Shift-I to import audio. All right. Okay, so this is a WAV file, so I'm going to hit Enter on this. Okay, for some reason that didn't go through. All right, let me try this again. Command-Shift-I. All right, so out of there. I'm going to hit enter again. Okay, well, let's try this again. Hold on. All right. Okay, so there's a couple of these that are the same thing, but that's okay. Let me go to her vocals. All right, so a lot of these are all generated audio produced. All right, so let's just take this clip here. All right, this is already a WAV file, so I'm just going to pull this. All right, so I might need to change my output, actually. I don't know. Let's see. All right, so yes, I do need to change my... Hang on a second. Let me change my output here. Go to audio. Okay, I'm going to hit apply. All right. All right, so now, again, we're going from this audio.
I'm Ava Conklin back with some more records to play and talk about. Tonight, we are going to play my favorite artist, Mac Miller. I absolutely love his album Circles. Okay, let's get into the first track on the record. It's Mac Miller with the title track, Circles. This is off the record. I'm Ava Conklin.
Okay, so obviously that's not. All right, so this is what we've got. So we go from that audio quality to this. Check this out.
All right. There's Roaring Twenties by Panic here on a Tuesday. As mentioned earlier in the evening, Brendan was casted on Broadway. And while it was a dream for him to be on the stage, he felt nervous and homesick. This song, simply put, describes his time on the Broadway.
Now, what's really interesting here about this is it literally it picks up on the breath, it picks up on the articulation, the enunciation, all that stuff. All this is AI generated. Okay? So we took the original audio from Play HD and then we put it into this template. And there we go. So this takes about a good 5 minutes to put together. Because what I will do is I take all the audio clips that I get from Play HD, compile them into one audio file, and then I drop it into Logic Pro, drop it into the Ava Conklin Studio template, and there we go. We automatically have the effects applied. Again, the effects being the presets. Again, the presets are the ones that are based off of Ava's voice. So if I were to drop this into a new project, we wouldn't get any, we would get the same exact audio that we started out with. So then after this is all produced, everything's, looks good, sounds good, all that stuff. You go to bounce the audio file, put it to the thumb drive. Then I literally roll back over here to the main desk, drop it into Studio Recorder, and then edit each clip according to what that clip goes to and when that clip will be played during the show. Right? So that is how that's done. The same idea goes for station IDs. If you want to get any new station IDs, what I do is I will go into Play HT, generate the audio, and drop it into Logic Pro, produce it, all that stuff. And there we go. It takes about 5-10 minutes to do the audio production side of things. Usually takes about an hour to an hour and a half to generate the facts, to get all the facts and stuff, depending on how the generator works on things. So that's how Off the Record is produced. That's how Vinyl in Your Pocket is produced. So when you hear Ava, understand that this is all based off of her original studio session that we did. You get out what you put into it. So if we would have gone in and not had good audio, we wouldn't be able to do that. We wouldn't be able to do this. We wouldn't be able to do what we're able to do. But because of the audio, because of the headset that I'm talking to you guys right now in, we're able to do that, right? I can just as easily go in and create an AI model of myself and make myself say anything and make myself say anything and everything, even though in reality I never said it, right? So that's how we're able to add Ava into the mix and add her contribution to the show. So it's a really cool thing that, quite frankly, I discovered unexpectedly. I don't know how I came across it, but it's one of the things where it really just fell into place, I guess, if you will. So there we go. If you have any questions, I'm looking here on the chat. I didn't see anything on here at all. If you have further questions, if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out. Let me know what you guys think. I hope this clears up I hope this clears some things up. And I hope that this will give you guys more of an idea on how the show is produced and what goes into it. It's how the intro for this show was created. It's how the outro was created. And with the effects, so sometimes, if you're listening to the station, you'll hear like a chorus effect, or you're going to hear, megaphone or whatever, the telephone effect or whatever. All that's done through the post-production side of things. So that's just putting effects on and exporting. So I hope that helps, and I hope I hope you guys found this interesting. And I hope that you guys continue enjoying Vinyl in Your Pocket. It's been a lot of fun doing this show. I enjoyed doing it before but I enjoy doing it even more now because it's incredible. So I hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope you guys are vibing with it. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you to everybody who has sent in feedback. If you have a vinyl that you want played, reach out, let me know, and I'll do my best. I'll do my best to make it happen. So, there we go. All right, one more thing. I want to have a little bit of fun just for shits and giggles. I'm gonna roll back over here for a second. Okay, I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna do something here. So I'm just deleting something here real quick. All right, I'm gonna leave you guys with this one final nugget. Let me just quickly write this out here. What up, New York City? Hold on. What up, New York City? I'm Eva Conklin. All right, so let's generate this and see what we get just for shits and giggles. Again, it's going to take 5 to 10 seconds to generate. And select that top one. Export as a single audio file. And it's downloading. And there we go. All right. I'll leave you guys with this one final nugget right here on a Wednesday afternoon. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thanks for watching. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. Instagram at AlecWolf2023, Twitter at Radio Alec, Facebook at Alec Joshua. And I'd be happy to answer any questions. If you have comments, if you have feedback, feel free to let me know. I'm always open to feedback, always welcome the feedback. But with that being said, I'll leave you guys with this final nugget. Check it out.
What up, New York City? I'm Eva Conklin.
Oh, awful, 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 awful. Okay, well, it didn't really work out so well, but hold on. Let me do something. All right. Cheers, everybody.
What up, New York City?
There we go. All right. All right, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Do good to the world. Worry less. Live more. And I'll talk to you all later. Peace. absolutely nothing when both mics are on.
Oh, it's gorgeous. I love it.
And we still sound just as good.
Absolutely.
Woo! It's about
Always.
time. It feels so good now. I think it was one day when me and Riley were recording in here, we did some adjustments here with the processors, and we had clear audio for recording vocals just in general, and then bam. Oh, perfect. That worked beautifully. You know, hey, let's get a replay on it for a second.
Oh my God, what?
Get a
No.
replay for a second. I did some adjustments here with the processors, and we had clear audio for recording vocals just in general, and then bam. Oh, perfect.
I was a little ahead of you. It's all right.
Hey, it worked.
Absolutely. Absolutely.